You're not going to
What
be
the
the
hell
governor.
happened?
We're not sure just yet, but according to Shams Charania today, Wyc Grousbeck will no longer stay on as governor as part of the Boston Celtics' $6.1 billion sale to Bill Chisolm, sources tell me, and Ramona Shelburne. Plan had been for Grousbeck to remain through 2028. Chisolm assumes governor title, and the transfer will be finalized soon.
Soon.
Yeah, soon.
Like how soon?
Soon enough. You get a date? You need a
Soonish.
specific date? Yes, Dan Ball?
He must be pretty upset with the direction of the payroll and the franchise.
Yeah, this is interesting in one sense, given everything that's gone on. I even hearken back to the Bob Cousy quotes we talked about on Friday from Dan Shaughnessy, where he said Chisolm and this ownership group is snake-bitten and nothing's gone right since they've been announced and taken over. Does this play into sort of that world of just sort of chaotic Celtics news? Or is this just how it happens? They did the same thing in Dallas, where Mark Cuban was, he's going to stay on as the governor. He's not going anywhere. And then the transfer went through and Mark Cuban was out. I think sometimes this is done to, like, placate fan bases and just, smooth transitions of power or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but at least Mark Cuban stuck around for a while. Like, he was still courtside and connected to the team longer than negative time. I mean, like, that's it. Wyc's going to be gone.
Well, you don't think Wyc will go to games anymore?
He might. I don't know. It might be awkward for him.
Gonna have to buy tickets.
You think he's going to have to buy tickets? You don't think they're going to comp him some for a little while?
You think but the money old Billy the Chiz just shelled out for the Celtics? He's going to be charging everyone. No more freebies for Poppy, Crafty, Drake, anyone by the courtside. Pay up. Pay the money.
So, Dan Ball, do you think this could have something to do with promises made, promises not kept, whether it's governor promises or promises of the way we're going about business, and that this tear down, which basically puts everything on the broad shoulders of Jaylen Brown this offseason, where you get rid of Porzingis and Drew Holiday and you're cutting costs, you think that could have something to do with it?
I don't know. Just to borrow something that you and Arkin used to talk about, it stinks a little bit for me. I sniffed something out where I feel like the spending is obviously an edict from ownership. We don't want to live in the second apron, which is fine, but that doesn't come off as a Wyc Grousbeck ownership philosophy. That comes off as maybe something new that's been brought in, and maybe he decided, if you're going to spend and operate the roster like this, my services aren't needed anymore.
I would just, for me, and I know nothing about massive purchases. I'll just say that out the gates. Never bought anything more expensive than a house or a car. But if I pay...
You know how annoying both of those are.
If I pay $6.1 billion for something, I want to go sit at the draft lottery and have my face there. I want to be the one who goes to the important meetings and votes for my $6.1 billion asset. Like... I'm going to have a front man? Unless that front man is somebody really cool. Unless I'm making, let's just say, Tom Brady, right? The face of the team. Okay, that's going to be good for business. Other than that, my $6.1 billion literally buys me a seat at all the important tables.
So you think he thinks Wyc was stealing the spotlight a little bit?
Like, could be a little bit of Wyc steal. Like,
well, that's what Wyc did for the entirety of his career. We didn't find out his dad owned the team until he had already stolen the spotlight for a decade. Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, think
longer.
about this. When you think Celtics right now, do people think Bill Chisolm? No, they still think Wyc Grousbeck.
Yes.
So maybe Bill Chisholm's getting a little tired of Wyc Grousbeck being the face of, if you will, like more than just like this honorary governor. Like people think Grousbeck, and like he wants this to be his Celtics now. Look at all the change this team is going through this year. And by the way, sneaky weird day overall in Boston sports so far. Like Crochet gets hit, Grousbeck is gone. Bad practice yesterday for the Pats. Can we have 2 nice days in a row? Are we allowed that?
I think we've had plenty of nice days in Boston sports, and I'm not going to jump to conclusions because a glorified walkthrough, the offense didn't look great yesterday.
I heard it was terrible.
Yeah, it looked terrible, but Josh McDaniels beforehand said, we're going to do some stuff today that's different with people in different roles, and it was a glorified walkthrough. I don't put a lot of stock in that. I'm worried about the offense. Don't get me wrong. That could also be teeing up my three-point stance about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from now.
Ew.
But because they looked bad in a walkthrough environment is not what I'm going to base it on. Like, I'm not going to jump to conclusions on that. And I'm also not going to jump to conclusions like Wyc Grousbeck on the Greg Hill show said, it's important for us to work together or something. Wait, why? You're the former owner. I'm the owner. We don't actually have – that's like somebody showing up at your house and being like, yeah, I used to live here. It's cool if I still go in the garage and do some stuff, right? No.
You guys mind if I come over for dinner? Like, no, you don't live here anymore.
Yeah, like I don't really. It makes sense that these don't work out, that they promote them as ideas, but it makes perfectly good sense that I don't want the former owner hanging around the team that I presently am the owner of. Yes, Diz.
But you would say, for the most part, fans loved Wyc, right? Pay us in parades, pay us in, that was great. And so I could see Bill wanting to kind of, I don't know how to say it.
Your first name basis with him?
Yeah, Bill, my buddy Bill.
My guy
Billy
Bill.
Banners.
Mr. Chiz.
He's from the area.
But Bill Chisolm wanting some of that, the way fans loved Wyc, for him to kind of get the same treatment. And so you want to kind of keep Wyc in good graces and try to we're buddies, we're going to work together.
You know how Bill Chisolm can do that? Be a good owner. Say some of the right things, and most importantly above all else, win. Or at least try to win, and then eventually do the job and finish the job and win. Saying it or looking it, whatever. He already has the resume, right? Weren't we told he's been a Celtics fan since he was a little kid, and he grew up. Where'd he grow up? Somewhere around here, Georgetown or something, some town in Massachusetts.
He a Stowe kid?
You don't need to ride Wyc Grousbeck's coattails just because he had success as an owner. You bought that success, and you hope you're going to have future successes. The only way I would have used Wyc Grousbeck, in my opinion, is if you could somehow have blamed the tearing down process on Wyc Grousbeck. I didn't want to do it as the new owner, but Wyc made me do it. It was a contingency or something in the sale, blah, blah, blah. If you could somehow use him as the scapegoat, the bad guy, I'm all for using Wyc Grousbeck for that.
Oh, you're an evil man, Andrew. Huh?
You got to do what you got to do. If I could somehow blame him for why we traded Porzingis, why we traded Drew Holiday, why we are spending less money, absolutely blame Wyc. Otherwise, my team, I'm going to be the face of my team. I'm a Celtics fan. I'm going to say the right things. I'm going to do the right things. We're going to compete for banners, and all things are good in Team Green these days. So I don't think this is a huge deal. I actually, as I said, I think it's always sort of a mirage. It was a mirage in Dallas. It's nobody's dumb enough to pay billions and let somebody else be the face man and take all the glory.